Hey, what's up guys? Chris here with More Than Sawdust, and I wanted to take just a minute to set this short video up. Now, one of the things we've talked about in many of our long form videos and some of the Coffee with Chris episodes is tips on farmers markets and craft fair setup and getting prepared for those. And one of the things we talk about a lot is actually taking a day or two before your show, and if you have the space somewhere, set your booth up, whether it be in your garage. We use the back of our living room because we've got a kind of an elongated living room that we don't have too much in the back room. And so set it up somewhere ahead of time and lay everything out. Set your tables up, set your displays up, and then take some pictures of it. And that way, the morning of the show, when you go to set up, man, it takes a lot of stress off. You already know where you're going to put everything. You don't have to get there quite as early or quick. It's so much easier. And then you can also see ahead of time, hey, maybe I got a few days. I want to make one or two more things to fill in these spots. So we wanted to do a short video of that process. So the other night we were doing this exact same thing, getting ready for a show the next day, and we decided to do an impromptu video. Now, pardon the audio and pardon the video. We're just using the camera. Using the phone, I should say. And so it's different lighting than we normally have out here in the shop. And the audio, I'm not mic'd up or anything. It was, like I said, an impromptu deal. But I hope you enjoy, and I hope it answers a few of the questions that you guys have sent in on comments on some of the emails, and just gives you a little insight into that part of the process. Enjoy. Hey guys, Chris here with More Than Sawdust, and I wanted to just do a quick video today. 5 minutes or less, I promise. I know that doesn't always happen with me. But we've had a lot of questions when we've done our videos on market prep for craft fairs, vendor shows, and getting ready for those. And one of the things that we talked about is getting ready before the show, setting everything up, laying your tables out, and doing all the prep work so that when you go to the location for the show, you are ready to go and you can get set up and you're not guessing yourself and you got everything prepared. So a few weeks ago, we did that video about craft fair prep, and so I wanted to show you our craft fair prep because we have one tomorrow. So first things first, we're going to go into the living room because we talked about how we use the back of our living room to set up. Now there's a couple things. We didn't take the time when we do the prep to put our tablecloths on. This is our big stretchy tablecloth. We have 2 of them, and they have our logo on them. So we had talked about that's something you could do to kind of make your booth look a little bit better, your tables look a little bit better. And then a couple other little things that we didn't talk about in the video, but just kind of tips before we look at the tables and the setup. Get tubs, guys. Get tubs or whatever system works for whatever kind of stuff you make. Now, some people that do all little items, they can get away with a couple rolling carts. We make cutting boards and decor stuff. So we've got like 3 or 4 of these tubs, super cheap at Lowe's or Home Depot. They're like $8 when they're on sale. And they stack up, the lid's locked, so you can throw them in the back of your truck and you don't have to worry about the lid going fly off. So get some tubs to carry your stuff. Plus, if you got a dolly, you can line them up on a dolly. I've seen people do that. We use this rolling cart. We bought it a couple years ago to take to tennis tournaments for our son, and it's been to a few tournaments, but it's been used for a lot of craft fairs and vendor shows. And so we just make our trips back and forth from our vehicle using this pull cart. You can stack everything in there, and then it folds up, of course, when you're done with it. You don't need it. That's the boring stuff. Let's go look at the setup. So don't mind the mess. This is what our living room looks like days leading up to the craft fair days, because we've got all of our stuff out and it's not stored in the garage up on the shelves. But I wanted to show you, this is kind of what we do. You can get the gist of it. Again, normally we'd have the tablecloths down here, but this is kind of how we set up our tables. And if you'll remember, we talked about in the prep video, displays. And so I set everything up just like we would have it for the show. You see the height we have on the corners. That gives you a lot of interest. It gives you a lot of versatility to your tables and the way it looks, and it makes people kind of draw their eye. Now, keep in mind that if you're into a tent, you got to make sure your height is okay and you don't hit the top of your tent. This particular show tomorrow is indoors. We don't have to have a tent, so we can stack it as high as we want. But a couple things I wanted to point out real quick is, one, we just talked about, you have all the different heights. So you create excitement and you create visual things that make people want to look. Now this show, I've created sections because I've got some objectives to this show. One, 4th of July is next week, or close, 10 days. And so I am wanting to clear out my holiday 4th of July stuff. So I've got a sale on everything because I'm getting ready to start making fall and Christmas and holiday decor and that kind of thing. So I'm trying to get rid of clearance. So I've got signs up like we talked about. I've got a section with my USA patriotic themed stuff together. And then I've got all my other kind of home goods and things that we're just trying to get rid of on the other side of the thing. Now this is what I want to put out to you. The video that we just put out this past week was on these cutting boards, and we talked about on the video, if you hadn't seen it, that these are boards that we're making for samples to take to realtors to use for client gifts. And so this is part of my actual woodworking business long-term plan, is to grow business and grow clients for customizable products. So I have dedicated a display, and I have some signage on the booth. We have dedicated a display to build interest around that. So if people come around that are looking for those customized items, we've already got them placed together and it's easy to talk about. But that's really how we do it. We set everything up just like I talked about, and then now I'm getting ready to pack up. Now we're not going to show you all that because that'll take a while. But when I pack up, I'm going to pack in reverse order. I'm going to pack away things first that I want to pull out last at the show, and the things that I put in last to the tubs or I pack last are going to be the first things I need to pull out at the show. It just saves you a ton of headache from having to rummage through everything and sort when you get there. I promise there's a lot of people pulling carts in and out, setting up tables, there's cars going everywhere. Save yourself a headache, plan ahead, pack ahead, and you'll be a lot happier when it's showtime. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.